All right, we are back. 1157 is out, and there is a bunch of things we want to discuss because they've been going on in my head for a while. All right, so we're gonna go through this like we normally do. We're gonna go through this chronologically in the chapter. So, all right, so let's start. So first we are kind of introduced to the pirates and their dynamics. We get to see a little bit more about them. We see like they're stealing from this people who are uh, apparently hoarding the money for distribution, but they're probably gonna make a celestial dragon offering. So yeah, that's what they're holding for, and Rocks Pirates know it. This kind of paints the Rocks Pirates in a much brighter light than what we were initially introduced to them as, because the way we because of what Gold Roger means in One Piece, we kind of automatically think that Zebak was probably meant the opposite. But it's not really the case right now. We can see the Rock Pirates are really wholesome. While they don't probably distribute the gold and stuff back to everybody else, they don't. They only freaking steal from things that they have been kind of kind of we've okay, I'm gonna say this. We have only seen that they've only stolen from people who are actually bad, like really bad. We get to see a couple of good dynamics between the rock pirates as well. We see Shiki being the asshole that he is all the time, and Kyo getting really mad at them. That's an interesting dynamic because Shiki's they chose a level of individuality in the crew where it's like every man for themselves, which honestly I don't mind. I actually don't mind. It's a pirate crew in the end, so I really don't mind that individuality, um, like selfishness in them. Like we've seen a lot of pirates that are pirate crews that operate on togetherness, like the collective. But we've not seen too many where the parkours are mostly like, "Hey, it's me first, and then you guys," kind of thing. And it's pretty cool thing. It's a pretty cool thing to see. It's a different alternative to the pirate crews that we've seen so far. You think of it, Luffy's crew, Law's crew, Zebek's crew, um, sorry, not Zebek's crew, uh, sh- uh, kids crew. These guys all kind of operate on the collective. Like, I'm gonna get ahead. The captains obviously have the feeling that I'm gonna get ahead, but then the collective is also very important to them. Zebek's crew, not as much. Um, we also see like Kaido Whitebeard. Kaido's kind of like seems like underling. Not I wouldn't say underling. Okay, he kind of looks up to Whitebeard. Like that is also an interesting thing, and Whitebeard kind of like mentors Kaido, which is an interesting thing to see that even in that crew, Whitebeard is still trying to like better the people around him, and he kind of sees Kaido as a kid, and he wants Kaido to kind of like prosper as well. Amazing to see there. One thing I will say is we don't, unlike what we had thought before, I assumed when Zebek's crew was introduced that Whitebeard would probably be first mate, right? Or the right hand man to the captain. But it does not seem that way. It seems that Captain John is actually Kaido's right hand man. Now, this could be just me reading into the panel in general, but the way that Oda drew Zebek and John standing next to each other, like John kind of talking to Zebek, like, hey, the Marines are here and all. It's very similar to how Oda places his characters when he's drawing these kind of panels. If you look, it's always the character first, and then the first mate to the right or left, one of the two. The first mate is always the one informing the captain about these things. They're always the ones that is looking out at the entire situation than this one. If you look at Kid Killer, it's the same thing. If you look at any panel with Kid and Killer, you'll see the same thing. Luffy and Zoro are the only ones I don't think I've seen directly, but that's primarily because they're always there and that's already established. Kid Killer's there. Rogers and Rayleigh is another one. I don't know who is Law's vice captain, but basically it seems like Captain John is the Rocks Pirates vice captain, and that leads me to think that John was he was not mentioned throughout the series as much, but how powerful is this guy? He's just been mentioned through, I think, like a couple of hints here and there. I think it was Buggy that wanted John's treasure, but it was I'm kind of excited to see where Captain John goes, because we probably should get a resolution to it, because Buggy's probably going to go into that. But so in the next few panels, we also kind of get a reason why the Xebec Pirates, the Rocks Pirates were like one of the biggest names out there. We see a lot of heinous stuff that they've gone through. I wouldn't say heinous. I would say they've done a lot. There's a reason why the Rock Pirates. Why do you keep saying Xebec Pirates? Anyway, there's a reason why the Rocks Pirates were hailed as the top elite of the elite in there, even when Roger was on sea, because they did a lot of shit. They did a lot of shit, and they caused a lot of attention. So yeah, I would definitely see that. After this, we kind of see Harold's dispute with the world government. We see that the Navy is obviously, some corrupt members of the Navy have obviously gone in and taken control of this island, and they're trying to do something with the citizens. I'm not sure what they were doing. They were trying to extort the citizens, I believe. Let me double check that. Where was that? Um, all right, so it was primarily they were maybe a non-affiliated member of the world government, and that's why they were kind of like messing with that area. So Harold basically is like, hey, don't do this. You can't treat people like this. But because he's in a very delicate position where he has to think of Elbaf first, the corrupt Navy officials basically just say that, hey, can you uh you're not allowed to mess with this. You don't want you want Elbaf to be considered a member nation anyway, so you can't jump in with you can't try to help them, because and then the guy shoots one of the characters, which obviously infuriates Harold, which would infuriate anyone, and he kind of like goes out and hurts the Navy. Now we we end the section with a newspaper article saying that Harold shows his true colors, or the Elbaf giants show the true colors, at painting Harold in a negative light. Now this leads me to question something else. Right? We're going to talk about Morgans. If Morgans was in control of the papers at this time and he wrote this article, he approved this article, that goes to show that Morgans doesn't really care about anything other than like what's going to give him power. I think he's the only one. He fends for himself, and that's about it. And anything that would leverage himself over anybody else, he would automatically take that route. And Harold's situation seems to be another one of those situations. Now, again, I don't know if Morgans was in control of the paper at this time. I just know that Harold did not deserve this headline. So, if Morgans was in control, then I have some questions for Morgans and some theories regarding Morgans that we'll probably cover a little bit later. All right. So, we kind of see that right after this incident, we kind of see that Zebek's telling Harold, "Hey, you see what they did? They're not worth it. Why are you trying to join them?" But Harold kind of still thinks that while the Navy has some corrupt officials, they are not completely corrupt. They see that there are so many other navies that save people on daily, which is true. Honestly, like while we've seen most of the times the corrupt nature of the Navy, that we have to acknowledge that the Navy is there and doing something good in the world, right? They might not, they might be controlled by someone who doesn't wish the best for the world, but there are regular Navy soldiers that just do good things for for people in the world. Pirates are not really looking out for the people on a daily basis. The Navy is the one, and I completely agree with Harold. Like there's a requirement for the Navy in the world. It's just that he's not able to see the bigger picture of who's controlling the Navy, or he doesn't know who's controlling the Navy. Although I think Zebek might have told them, but I don't know. We also see that Zebek has some respect for Garp, saying that Garp does not belong as a Navy official, but he belongs as a pirate, because that's basically Zebek's view, I believe, at this moment is primarily that people should destroy the ones at the top and should not care about those people, because those are the ones that are trying to hold the entire world back. And that's basically why he doesn't want Garp to be part of the Navy. But Harold also understands that while that is true, we need to move forward as a society, and he gives good examples like John Giant being part of the Navy, promoting the Giants' place in the world as a part of a whole collective society. We also see that Ida is not a fan of Zebek. She does not like Zebek. She considers her husband's friendship with Zebek. She understands that, but she's not a fan of Zebek. She's like, literally, I would tell Harold to choose his friends wisely. Right, and Zebek gets side shots. We also see a beautiful thing that's with Loki. Loki, despite his annoyance with Ida, or like his hatred towards Ida, I wouldn't say hatred, but like let's say annoyance to Ida. He's still at Ida's house listening to that. Maybe it's out of just following Zebek or making sure Zebek knows him or something. But he's still at Ida's house, and that's just beautiful to see. All right. We then shift a little bit of focus to the Marines. We see that all three big shots, actually all four big shots, want Harold to join the world government, to just join the world government in general. Garp, Sengoku, Otsuru, Kong all want them. Kong, I'm a little bit unsure of, because I don't know where he seems like a guy who's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. He knows what has to be done, but he knows that if he does that, then something bad is going to happen from the other side, and it's not going to end well. And he's kind of that kind of person. Ever since he was introduced, I've always felt like he's that person. We see that they all want Hal to join, but they know that Hal joining would be the right thing, but they also know that if Hal joined, then at least Kong seems to know that if Hal joined, then they would lose a leverage that they could use eventually. And if he just one-sidedly said it, that they should join, they wouldn't. Or he's being stopped by someone from saying it outright, like allowing it outright. Okay, so that was a huge, small thing. I wouldn't say that huge. Now we come to the main event that closes out this chapter. This section has a lot of different interesting sections to me, I would say, because there's a lot to talk about here. But so we start with Shaki quitting the Kuja Pirates. She's resigning as the Empress of the Kuja Pirates. Great. People in the world, all One Piece world gooners are kind of lost. They're like, there's no point in my life anymore. Great. So we do see Gloriosa saying something to Big Mom. So Big Mom literally asks Gloriosa that, hey, do you think it could be because she fell in love with someone? Like, does the falling in love for Kuja Pirates really mean the end for them? But no. So basically, okay, before we jump into that, I do believe she might be in love with Rayleigh. Just my saying, okay, just my headcanon, I'm not sure. Maybe it just, okay, not my headcanon, okay? I have enough proof to say that she has some feelings for Rayleigh, right? But we don't know what's going on because Gloriosa also seems to be a little bit confused by Shaki quitting, and she genuinely asks, like, what could be the reason for you doing this? She also makes a good comment to Big Mom, saying that, what would you know about love? You just keep popping out kids. Now, this kind of reinforces the video that I did last week. This is a point that I never got across. I don't think I stated this point, that Big Mom's habit of popping out kids and utilizing their unique traits as purely a utilitarian kind of aspect to them is so familiar with Mother Caramel that it just draws that line. I am telling you, Big Mom, when she's not hungry or not extremely hungry, she is basically Mother Caramel. Mother Caramel is in control during those times. 100%. No doubt. Okay. So, next thing we are going to talk about Stussy and Whitebeard. Very cute couple. Small thing that we got. Whitebeard kind of like doesn't care about it. Stussy really wants Whitebeard to care about it. So yeah, I'm guessing Weevil might actually be Whitebeard's son. So I have, because it's a really cute couple, man. So yeah, I'm all for it, man. Like I love to see where that goes as well. Okay, so after this, we see that Shaki makes landfall on Zebek's island, on Pirate Island. Now, why Pirate Island? Like, I get it, okay? Maybe it's because Zebek is the biggest crew around, and she would be the safest as a pirate on his island. But Chucky is by no means helpless or like not strong, right? So she could probably just do something like what she did in Sabaody. She could just stay in Sabaody and just chill out there. I'm pretty sure Marines would come after her, but she could have handled it. So there could be three possible reasons for this. The first one is that she is basically just there just because it's a safe place, right? The second reason could be that she's there because she's doing some spying work because Roger wants to keep an eye on Zebek. And, or not even Roger, I would say Rayleigh wants to keep an eye on Zebek and Rayleigh sent her there, right? It could be a case of that. It could be a mutual thing that they're becoming a little too powerful. Maybe we should keep an eye on that. Maybe Shaki agreed. Like, yeah, that's true. Maybe we should keep an eye on that. And that's why she's there. I honestly don't know. The third one could be that it could be out of spite. It could literally be out of spite if Rayleigh ever rejected her. So it could just be out of spite. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I want to see a little bit more. But it is an interesting take why Shaki went into Zebek's island instead of any other place. As usual, we kind of see everyone is literally floored by her. Like literally every single one. Not a single guy on Pirate Island is capable of resisting how beautiful she is. Right? Talk about Zebek. I was hoping at least Zebek wouldn't be, but like Zebek is, John is, Newgate is, Kaido is, like literally every single one. And it's, I mean, like, come on, man. I guess, come on. There are plenty of fish out there, right? You should be okay. Anyway, but yeah, we can see that the first incident of Shaki's rebuff bar is built. It's pretty big building on Pirate Island, built not by her but by everybody else, and everyone's just helping out just like that. So yeah, all good. Glad she could get a rebuff bar there. She's probably gonna rip off a ton of customers there. So yeah, that's great. But anyway, we after all the lighthouses are, we come to the main event, which is the world government saying that Harold should kill Zebek to gain entry into the world government, basically, yeah. Now, this is the part where I think Zebek is going to break. Because if Harold chooses to do this, it would be, if you remember like 2 chapters back, Zebek was literally punched Kaido saying that I will not do that to my friend. You can see how important Zebek takes his friends, like how important he takes the relationship with his friends. He considers Harold a true friend, right? If Harold does take this deal, it's going to break Zebek. It's going to remove the only humanity Zebek has left, and it's going to absolutely crush him. I can see Zebek turning into the man Roger would fight if Harold takes this deal, and I'm pretty sure Harold is going to take this deal because I believe Harold was working with the world government, and that is the primary reason Loki killed him. And I think the world government, Harold's going to take this deal from the world government, but he's going to do it not according to their standards. So the world government is going to withdraw it from them, and they're going to automatically say that, hey, you got to do a couple of other fucked up things in your own country. And that's what led to Loki killing Harold. And I am so, I will be so sad to lose this Zebek, that, but I guess it will come with time. But it's just beautiful seeing seeing these characters, and I am kind of afraid that Zebek is going to break, and I don't want this Zebek to go away. I know he is. I just know he is, but I don't want this Zebek to go away. That's about it. It was a blast of a chapter. Again, I'm excited for the freaking 100th time. It's beautiful seeing these characters come into play and seeing how they're working. So I will always enjoy these runs down history lane that we do. That's about it for me. I've been Kurogami. If you like what you saw, consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.